Hello, my name's Hazel and I'm going to tell you about our plant of the week. Here we have Viburnum bodnantense, also known as Arrowwood. Now I have here two different varieties. This taller one at the back is called Dawn. These two at the front are a variety called Charles Lamont. Both of these hold an RHS Award of Garden Merit because they're so fantastic. Now, as you can see, these are deciduous shrubs. The taller one at the back, Dawn, will get to about 2 to 3 metres. These ones at the front, Charles Lamont, will be a little bit shorter, so 1.5 to 2 metres. And they are really upright shrubs. The Charles Lamont might have a slightly more spreading habit, but Dawn particularly is a very upright shrub, so it doesn't take up much space sideways, but you do get a nice height. Now the fantastic thing about these, despite the fact that they're looking a bit bare right now, is that they flower all the way from autumn all the way through to spring. And they produce these clusters of buds, really dark pink buds, which open out into pinky coloured flowers. Dawn has a slightly darker pink, Charles Lamont has a slightly more lighter pink, and they do age more to a whiter colour, so they emerge more pink. And what's really fantastic about these is that they're really good for pollinators that emerge in the winter. So as climate is changing and some of our winters being a little bit warmer, bees like the buff-tailed bumblebee will emerge, particularly in south of England, and even nest through the winter. And they obviously require flowering plants through the winter. Now we don't have a lot of native plants that flower through the winter, so plants like this and mahonias are really good for providing forage for bumblebees, particularly the buff-tailed bumblebee through the winter. And they just flower their socks off. There's not masses on here because these are quite young plants, but they do flower from quite a young age, from quite small stems, and they can just be absolutely covered. I've got a Viburnum bodnantense Dawn at my allotment as just part of a hedge, and they're really good as part of a hedge because again they don't get too wide, and it's absolutely covered in these clusters of buds. And what's really lovely is that they're also scented, so they're just brilliant for us and they're brilliant for the bumblebees too. So they're like sun or a little bit of shade. They don't mind a little bit of shade, but they're like a sunny position and almost any kind of soils except the extremes of really waterlogged or really dry. So really easy to look after. And once they get a bit bigger, as you can see from these, they send out lots of new stems from the ground and from low down. So if they're starting to get a bit congested, you could take out 1 in 5 of those stems once the plant's got established. Other than that, there's really very little maintenance at all. So they're fully hardy plants, fantastic for bees in the winter, fantastic for lovely scent. If you want it in your garden, plant it somewhere near where you can stop and smell the scent on your way in and out of your house. And they're just really wonderful plants.